So guys, does Jody have what it takes to have a successful debut solo album? Could A-Reece's album Paradise 2 overshadow Shine O'Clock? Does Jody not see the need to have a rollout plan for his album? Well guys, Jody confirmed to be working on a solo album in 2021 after he dropped the joint project with his brother A-Reece titled Heaven Can Wait as a launch to his solo career. The album with A-Reece did well, and I'd like to believe that we really got to see what Jody is capable of. I mean, judging off his pen game on the confrontation, honestly speaking, I think Jody killed A-Reece on the confrontation. Again, his ability to have different flows on that whole album. That album was actually made to put Jody on as he was starting to take a different route of being a solo artist after he has separated with TK as a rap duo Benchmark. After he confirmed to be working on a solo album, his fans built so much anticipation around it as he had just came off a joint project experience, and he had promised to drop his debut solo album back in the second half of 2022. When the time reached in the second half of 2022, he suddenly decided otherwise and surprised his fans with Sunset Stories, the mixtape, which did receive quite a good impression from fans. Fast forward to March this year, he dropped an EP titled Revenge is Sweet, and it had A-Reece on, who had arguably one of the best verses of the year. Then from there, things have tended to be a bit skeptical as it seems like Jody doesn't really know what he's doing. He has decided to drop his album this year, but so far there's no rollout plan, no lead single of his upcoming album. Like, the hype around his album is so dead. No one is even talking about it. From A-Reece's lyrics on Achilles, Jody was actually supposed to drop in July, but July passed, now we're on August. Nothing is being said, which makes me question if these guys really value us as their fans. I believe that if you make promises to your fans and can't fulfill them, at least communicate with them to let them know what's happening. He dropped the tracklist of his album, Shine O'Clock, which made me believe that he had came to the senses of getting his rollout ongoing, and even went as far as performing an exclusive with A-Reece out at Cotton Fest Devon. And in my opinion, I think right at that point he should have released that track as fans were now starting to bring back the hype around him. But he didn't. Now it's most likely that his album might flop. Which is the last thing I think people would want to see from Jody. His debut album, to be more precise, cause here's why. A-Reece is dropping in October on the 21st. We know he can't go against A-Reece with that one. So I highly believe that if he decides to drop in September, let's say maybe on the date he dropped this debut mixtape, the 29th of September, his album won't have much hype as the hype will at that point shift to the bigger man, A-Reece. He will only have about 2 weeks to get people talking about his album. After A-Reece drops, Shine O'Clock will be overshadowed. It will be like he never dropped an album. So I think he should be implementing a new strategy that he thinks will work best for him. Artists have this tendency of telling their fans that they can't control them and tell them what to do. But I believe that the success of an album depends on the rollout it went under. You can't just wake up and decide to drop. That can only be done by a few artists. And I want you guys to listen to me clearly and carefully. I'm not saying this to slander Jody's name, but I want the best out of him. I mean, this is his debut album, so he has to make sure. But one other thing, he might be on pause because DJ Clan just dropped an album. His album might overshadow DJ Clan's album, and this is exactly what I said before. Could this mean that Revenge Club Records is feeding its fans with a lot of music at the same time? I mean, we can't have 3 people from the same record label dropping albums in a space of 3 months. I mean, on DJ Clan's album we got to hear Jody and A-Reece. On Shine O'Clock we'll again get to hear A-Reece and Jody, and definitely on Paradise 2 we'll hear A-Reece and Jody too. But after all, we can say whatever we want to say, but the albums will drop. So how do you guys feel about this whole thing? Comment your thoughts down below. And that is the end of the video. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more. Peace out.